book of the Bible has impacted you the most? Definitely Proverbs.
Ruth. Ruth really impacted me. I think it's one of the shortest books in there, but I really love Ruth and her devotion, and I really love that story. It's really amazing what God did in her life and how he led them, and I really love Ruth.
That is a difficult question. Most recently, doing, like I said, the Hebrew study, that impacted me big time, and just understanding who Yeshua is and what his role is in our life right now. That helped me to better kind of put pieces of the puzzle together in my head, and understanding his role as our high priest. And so that most recently has been very impactful.
Risks that are worth taking are anything that you could possibly grow from. As far as like eating healthy, giving your life to the Lord, definitely worth taking.
The ones that Yah tells you to take. Always listen to him when he tells you to do something.
Always. It's always good to take the risk of sharing about Yeshua, speaking of him and what he's doing in our lives right now. And sometimes that can be uncomfortable, but I haven't seen it go sour ever. So that I see, planting seeds is always a risk worth taking.
When other people are motivated about something around me or with me, that will get me super motivated to do that thing. I really love being around like positive people and people who are really motivated to reach a certain goal. That will always get me like fired up for that goal or whatever we're trying to accomplish. If other people are happy about it around me, I'm good with it.
Definitely homemaking and being a stay-at-home wife. It's something that I'm very passionate about, and something that the Lord has definitely laid on my heart to be fired up and passionate about. So yeah.
I really like organizing. So if I get to go to the Container Store, I don't know if everyone knows what the Container Store is, but it's like they have all kinds of containers and like organizing things. I get really excited about that. So I know, guys, it's lame, but I really enjoy it.
So the best piece of advice I think I've ever heard in my life is that you have to dig deep for diamonds. I feel like that just applies for all areas in life. If you're thinking about modesty, if you're thinking about just accomplishing goals, seeking wisdom, something that is worth your while is not going to be easy, and it's not going to be quick. All things that are worth anything in life take time, and they're difficult.
To live your life according to what Yah wants and not what everybody else wants.
I've been given the advice that for marriage, and that marriage takes two good listeners and two good forgivers. And that is so true. And I had to learn to be a good listener, and I had to learn to be a good forgiver and not sweep things under the rug. And so that was a very good piece of advice.
I think things that I really struggled with most growing up and in life is depression, trying to have a solid foundation, and reliance on other people, specifically like boyfriends, to make me happy. So I really struggled with that, and that was something that the Lord really helped me get through.
Definitely my childhood and growing up.
There's a theme here. As a child, I was stubborn. As a teenager, I was stubborn. In my 20s, I was stubborn and selfish. And then in my 30s, now, the biggest thing I'm learning and growing in is giving it all to Yah. So there's been a change there. Praise the Lord.
Lammy! So when I was like 5 or 6 years old at our Lutheran church that we grew up going to. I memorized the Lord's Prayer at a really young age. And I remember my Sunday school teacher and my mom took me to one of the Sunday school rooms, and they made me turn around and face the wall so that I couldn't like look or read off of anything, and recite the Lord's Prayer. And because I was able to do that, it was like such a huge surprise. Because I was able to do that, I got a magnet with the Lord's Prayer on it, and I got a stuffed lamb, and I named it Lammy, and that was my Lammy, the stuffed animal. And I never forgot that. Like, that just, it really did something to my child mind, that learning the things of God is important, and you will be blessed for it. You know, I was a kid and I got a stuffed animal, and it was a lamb, and I loved that lamb. But now that we're like grown up, the Lord will bless you in non-material ways. He'll bless you with wisdom. He'll bless you with peace. He'll bless you with loving His ways, because those things don't come naturally to us without Him. So I was taught at a very young age that knowing the things of God will always result in a blessing, no matter how that manifests. The Lord will bless you.
Definitely this necklace right here. Gavin got this for me for Christmas, I believe, last year. And it's just something that's very special to me. It's just 2 small crosses, and I wear it every single day.
So when my grandma passed away, she left me her piano, and that was a very memorable gift for me. I cannot play the piano, but I did take lessons a few times, and so she knew that, and she thought I should have the piano. But all my kids play, and Evie's learning, my youngest, and so it makes me really happy to hear them playing on my grandma's piano. And you can like still smell her house, like in the piano when you open it up, and in the keys and stuff, you can smell it. So it's a very memorable gift to me.
I don't really have any scar. Okay, so I have one scar on my leg, but it doesn't really have a good story about it. I was climbing a brick wall and I fell and I scraped my leg on a brick wall, and now I have this weird like scar on my shin. It really hurt. It's not really a good story though.
Is that an ant? Oh my gosh, what the heck? There's an ant. I really don't have a lot of scars. The only one that I have is very faint, and you can't even see it. It's a dog scratch, but that's it. What do people think is weird about you? Okay, so something that people think is really weird is I can't move my knuckle. I can't move it in. Like, how, like, this is, I can't do it. Like, whenever I do the number 3, like, this is my number 3, and my husband makes fun of me for it all the time because I can't, or like 4, I can't do like the thumb thing.
So I have this giant scar on my knee. It's gotten lighter over the years, but I was playing competitive softball. The field was like in one of those states where it was like cement because it hadn't rained, and then it hadn't rained for a while, so it was just like really hard and there wasn't soft sand on it. I slid into second base. I was a senior in high school. I slid into second base, my knee pad came down, and it just took a chunk out of my knee, and I was just like, it was nasty, y'all. It was really nasty. I can't handle the B word with like all that. That's why I did not go into the medical field. I did make it around, but it was bad, y'all. It was nasty. I mean, that scar stayed with me for a long time, and it was like all purple. Now it's like skin colored, at least, and not a lot of people see it. My second one is like this scar that's like a check mark on my shin. Same, like, I don't know what it is about my right leg, my shin. I was like, my mom was like, oh, we gotta get the trash out before Dad gets home. You know, you gotta like clean the house before Dad gets home. So I was running out the front door to go take the trash out to the side, and we had this little white picket fence, and there was a nail sticking out of it, and I cut the turn too close, and it caught my shin and I fell. It was so gross. Like that right there. And that was like the same year too. And I was like, I almost fainted. Like I can't handle that stuff, and it like makes me nauseous to think about even now. Like that is, I was thinking about going in the medical field at one point as a senior, but after all that happened, I was like, yeah, no, I don't think I can handle this. So those are my scar stories.
So sometimes I'll say things that I think are funny, or I'll be making a joke or a reference to something, and people don't get it, and I'm like laughing because I think I make hilarious jokes. But sometimes people will be like, what? I'm just like, you didn't get it, did you? And that happens a lot with my brother. I would say things and he wouldn't get how hilarious that my joke was, and then he'll like pity laugh, ha ha ha, and he doesn't understand my jokes. I think I'm funny, but sometimes I guess people don't. Yeah, I guess that would be it. That was a really awkward response.
People probably think a lot of things are weird about me, just because I'm a little goofy. I like to have fun, you know? But people probably think the weirdest things are that I don't really do the typical American holidays, and people probably think it's weird that I head wrap, I would imagine. That's all I can think about right now. That's all I can think people think is weird about me. But there's probably a lot more.
What bends your mind every time you think about it? Outer space.
How society is ran.
Eternity. Eternity bends my mind, and being outside of time bends my mind. I want to understand that, but you know, I'm sure in time I will. Maybe. And then also the pure love. Like the more I learn about the character of Yah, the more I am amazed at what pure love really is, you know. So those are the things that kind of bend my mind.
If your childhood had a smell, what would it be? Vanilla, brown, sugar. My mom always wore vanilla brown sugar perfume from Bath and Body Works, and I could smell it in the morning when I was still in bed and not awake yet, because my mom obviously would get ready before us kids were awake and stuff, and I would smell this vanilla brown sugar cinnamon in my sleep, and it would wake me up, and it was the most wonderful smell. I'm gonna have to get her some of that perfume again, because it makes the whole house smell like vanilla brown sugar.
There's the ant. Well, I grew up on a cow farm, so it definitely has to be the smell of fresh cut grass and cow manure.
My mom was always cooking, and my mom's a really good cook actually, and she was always sauteing garlic and onions and olive oil, and that reminds me of my childhood. Every time I do that, it reminds me of being at home. And my dad was always in the yard, working in the yard, and so the smell of fresh cut grass, and I ran cross country too, and so I remember the smell of like the dew on the grass in the morning, and that just reminds me of my childhood.
What are you afraid people see when they look at you? So, I wear glasses, and I'm kind of blind, so my glasses have a tendency to really magnify my eyes, and I sometimes feel like people notice it, that my eyes are more magnified on my face, and they look larger than they really are because of my glasses, and I feel like people notice that, but I've actually brought it up because I thought that people noticed it whenever they're like, hey, I like your glasses or something. I'm like, yeah, they really magnify my eyes, don't they? And people are like, oh yeah, I guess they do, huh? And I think I overthink about that. So.
How sometimes I can definitely have very low confidence. I'm not one of those people that has a poker face and can hide what they're thinking. So definitely that.
I'm always afraid that people will not get me, and that's because I've found in my life that people don't get me right away. I'm typically quiet at first because I've learned to listen, be a good listener, and get to know other people better. And so I don't always share my story right away. And I think that people sometimes think of me as if I've like got it all together or something, which I totally do not, y'all. But still, I do not, okay? But I want people to know me as a genuine person, as a real person, as a completely non-judgmental person. I'm learning how to make sure that I'm perceived that way right out the gates. There's like this fine balance, you know, like maybe sharing bits and pieces of my story instead of just sitting back and listening all the time, you know. And so I just want people to know that I have flaws too, and I'm not perfect. And I grew up and I had a crazy life, like especially in my 20s, you know, like I am where I am now, and I'm still growing, and but I have a lot of history behind me as well, and I just want people to know that I am I'm not a judgmental person. I get it. I've been in a lot of people's shoes. I haven't been in everyone's shoes, but I try to imagine myself in people's shoes.
So I think the overall goal that we really want to accomplish with this channel is just being a source for other women and young ladies to see that living a set-apart life for the Lord is really joyful, and that we are not under bondage, and that we're very free, and that we just have fun in daily life. And we hope to give other women ideas on how to take care of their family, how to eat healthier, and just take you along on our journey with life. As I said, I am a Torah baby. I've only been keeping Torah and learning more about Torah for the past like 4 or 5 months. So I think it'll be really awesome to take some of you guys on this journey with me and with us as we continue to learn how to serve and be that light that we were called to be. I really hope that a lot of women really benefit from this channel, and really at the end of the day it's all about Yeshua, it's all about the Father, and it's all about what he did for us on the cross. And our lives will never be the same because we came to this truth and we came to this love for the Lord, and we just hope to take you along on this journey with us. So thank you for watching, and shalom and shine, y'all.
Definitely a sense of relaxedness, peace, joy, and just an area where people can come together and be able to fellowship together. That's the most important thing that a lot of us don't have with the people around us. So feel free to join us and become a part of the Shalom and Shine family.
I really pray that the Shalom and Shine channel will just be a corner of the internet that is genuine and real and joyful and uplifting and puts a smile on people's face. I just want people to see the joy that we have in Yeshua, and I pray that they will be encouraged and motivated by that, and seek Him if they aren't already, to seek Him and run to Him and join us in this amazing journey, this journey that we're continually being sanctified in. But I just pray that it will be a place of joy, and that they will see the Spirit working through Shalom and Shine. We hope you have enjoyed learning a little bit more about all of us, and we hope to see you back again. Make sure to subscribe so you can see our new videos that we'll be putting out. And until then, Shalom and Shine.